Today is a WRAL weather alert day because of this front that'll move in today and stall. It'll bring us thunderstorms later today. I'll show you when you could expect to see them.
And what comes next? The Vatican is in mourning after Pope Francis' death, how they'll move forward in the coming days, and the plans to honor the Pope in Raleigh today.
Plus, remote learning. Wake County school leaders will revisit the remote learning policy today. The changes that could reduce the amount of Saturday school makeups because of weather. No one wants to go to school on a Saturday, but today, kids, you do have school, and you may want to take some rain gear or an umbrella with you. I'm Renee Chu.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Great to have you along here. Earth Day, right? The 22nd of April, and Earth's going to get a little drink here a little bit later. Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. It is a WRAL Weather Alert Day here because of that storm front coming.
You don't have to worry too much about it this morning. We're not likely to see showers and thunderstorms until mid to late afternoon into the evening. So it will be some impact for the evening commute. It's a level 1 risk, which just means isolated wind damage is possible, but we may see some bursts of some heavy rain during the evening commute. The level 1 risk covers almost the entire viewing area except right near the Virginia line. Taking a look outside this morning, we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds. That sunshine will help to warm things up through the afternoon, and it's a mild start this morning, 66 degrees in the Triangle. Here's a look at our timeline for rain. We have a small chance just after lunchtime, but a better chance starting at around 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it does look pretty messy for the evening commute. We may not see the rain tapering off until around 10 or 11 o'clock. It'll be another warm day with temperatures in the low 80s. And we're going to put this pattern on repeat. We could see showers and storms each afternoon through Saturday. I'll show you how much rain total coming up. Ken?
6:01, Elizabeth. A rather quiet start to our morning commute, which is really good news when you think about it. As you look at our traffic map this morning, nothing but green showing up anywhere from Wendell to Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill. And let's take a look at one of those major routes this morning. We're looking at the northern loop of the Beltline, I-440 and New Bern Avenue. Traffic flowing nicely in all directions. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio. We'll keep you updated. 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks. Cardinals are at the Vatican this morning going through details of Pope Francis's funeral. You're looking live at the Vatican and the people who have come to pay their respects. It is the first meeting of the Cardinals since the Pope's death. This morning, the Vatican announced the Pope's funeral will be on Saturday at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning, the Pope's body will be transferred to St. Peter's Basilica. The Vatican says his official cause of death was a stroke that led to heart failure. In Raleigh, Mass is planned this morning at Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral. That's where WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live this morning. Kelsey, it will be the cathedral's first gathering since the Pope died.
Yes, Renee, it will, and that's set to start within the next hour. Catholics in our community will gather for worship during this somber time. We'll give you a live look now outside of the Vatican as folks are gathering there. It's about 12 noon now over in Rome, and we know it's been over 24 hours since the world found out about Pope Francis's death. Tributes are pouring in from across the globe, and people here in the Triangle are honoring the Pope's life and legacy. We spoke with Bishop Luis Zarama from the Raleigh Diocese. He says Pope Francis reshaped the Catholic religion for the modern era, more accepting of the LGBTQ community and an advocate for social justice and human rights.
Every time when I was, thanks to be God, able to meet with him, was a lesson of humility.
Mass here at the Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral in Raleigh should start this morning at 7 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
And we're remembering the Pope's impact on the world. He was the first Latin American Pope. Our cameras were there for his visit to Cuba in 2015. Former WRAL reporter Leila Santiago was there, and Santiago says Pope Francis had a special impact on their culture.
In Latin America, Catholicism is so deeply rooted in our values and traditions that when many see themselves reflected in the leader of a religion that is so prominent, and they see a pope that has prioritized seeing them.
Santiago took a unique approach to her coverage. Instead of heading to the designated media zone, she walked in with the general admission public and saw this, the Pope getting out of the Pope-mobile and interacting with the people.
We have a guide to the traditions, the Latin terms, and the timeline to select a new pope. You'll find it on the homepage of WRAL.com.
Fewer Saturday school makeup days. That's the goal as Wake County revisits its remote learning policy today. WRAL's Laura Levine is live outside Wake County Schools headquarters this morning. Laura, this could help the school year stay on track despite snow or severe weather. We saw that crop up this year. And good morning to you.
We sure did. Good morning, Jeff. So you may recall when students spent a lot of time behind these computer screens during the pandemic. Well, remote learning could make a comeback once again as a backup plan for when school has to close unexpectedly, but this time with more specific guidelines on when and how to do it. So the Wake County School Board will consider an updated remote learning plan after this year's storms resulted in Saturday schools at some year-round facilities, and a new plan is required by the state. So the plan is essentially the same as the one the district is already using, except that it outlines current technologies the district is using. School leaders encountered some issues this year because the district was not prepared to actually conduct the remote learning. WRAL's education reporter Emily Walkenherz says that the draft plan outlines how the district would roll out remote learning when poor weather or another unforeseen circumstance closes the school without any banked days or teacher work days left.
So this plan is coming forward basically at a time when the school board wants to be able to review this plan, and they want to make sure that the school system is ready to implement a remote learning day if this ever happens again. You'll recall that many year-round schools had to have Saturday school twice this spring just because they didn't have the remote learning option during snow days, and they had to find some other way to make it up.
So that current policy requires the district to actually hold off on remote learning before they're using the banked teacher work days, of course. So all of this will be discussed at that meeting happening today with a special committee at 1 p.m. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Cary.
Today, the North Carolina Central University Board of Trustees will have a special meeting. They plan to approve a designer to renovate the university theater. This meeting comes after 5 people were arrested during a protest on campus. 4 out of the 5 people were affiliated with the school. The group was rallying for more on-campus housing and better living conditions. Housing improvements are not yet on the agenda for today or the board's next meeting in June.
Windows smashed and personal belongings ransacked. Raleigh's Renaissance Park community experienced another round of robberies recently. The owner of this GMC truck tells WRAL his window was smashed Sunday night, as well as back in January. The vandals got away with his 9mm handgun. Neighbors say the crime has prompted them to take extra precautions.
Be vigilant, keep an eye outside, keep your vehicles locked. If you have Ring cameras, make sure they're charged and online.
No arrests or charges have been announced at this time.
Chris Lovingood here in the WRAL Live Center. Just want to show you the aftermath of a fire that Smithfield's Fire Department is investigating. You can see right here the damage that was done to this house right here. And this is information that's coming from the Johnston County's emergency management folks saying that a call came in about a structure fire that happened here. You can see there was one point flames visible, but you can see the smoke still billowing after the fire was just about put out, it seems, in this particular photo. This house was occupied at the time. There are no report of injuries just yet. We know that the fire was under control at around 5:15 this morning. And I'm just stepping off camera here just real quick because the one thing that I didn't see verified there, yes, Shady Lane Drive is where this happened. So again, no injuries reported there in terms of what caused the fire. Smithfield Fire Department is looking into that. As soon as we have more information, we'll report it here on the WRAL Live Center.
A UNC freshman faces 8 counts of felony secret peeping. Arrest warrants say 19-year-old Marshall Ragsdale used a camera pen to record people in the bathroom. UNC police found 33 videos on the camera. According to his release order, Ragsdale can no longer be on campus.
This week is National Work Zone Awareness Week, and the DOT is reminding drivers when you enter a work zone, you need to obey posted speed limits, pay attention, and avoid distractions. DOT is holding a news conference this morning at the state fairgrounds. 47 people were killed in North Carolina work zones last year.
Fayetteville drivers use caution when driving around downtown. Contractors are making repairs to the upper steeple of the Market House, which has wood rot. Partial orange and white barriers have been placed around the inner circle of the roundabout to keep workers safe. The barriers are specifically on the Green and Gillespie Street sides.
A woman in Garner is recovering after a shooting. WRAL's breaking news tracker was there as police arrived on Heather Park Drive, right near Dartmouth Glen Drive. Investigators found 6 shell casings at that scene, and a canine officer was brought in to help track the shooter. If you have any information, you're asked to call Garner Police.
The wife of Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil says he's been denied temporary release for the birth of his son. Khalil's wife gave birth to their first child yesterday. She says a request to ICE that would have allowed Khalil to attend the birth and meet their son was denied. Khalil was arrested for his role in pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University, where he was a grad student. Khalil is a legal permanent resident, and his wife is a U.S. citizen. He is being held at an immigration detention facility in Louisiana.
Duke superstar freshman hoop star Cooper Flagg made it official. He's headed to the NBA. That announcement came yesterday, just days before the deadline to declare. Flagg is expected to be the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft, which is in June.
Dead for 10 minutes. A woman's heart stopped during a concert at Coca-Booth. How she's remembering the scary moments before waking up in the hospital.
Also, this flight on fire. Delta passengers in Orlando were evacuated on the tarmac. A look at the plane engine up in flames.
And today is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a cold front moving in. That's going to bring us some thunderstorms this afternoon. I'll show you what to expect from those storms and what time they'll arrive where you are.
Stay safe with the latest WRAL Weather Alert Day info. Get up to the minute weather and traffic conditions when you get in your car. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, taking a look at our cold front headed our way. It is producing some showers and thunderstorms back into the mountains, and it will arrive here later this afternoon, around 2 or 3 in the afternoon in some places, lasting into the evening past dinner time. So today is a WRAL weather alert day. It's a level 1 risk. It just means that a few of the storms that develop could produce some wind damage this afternoon. Best chance of that will be 3 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right through the evening commute, and then up until around 9 or 10 o'clock. Now, it's a nice quiet start this morning. No rain for the morning commute. Franklinton looking pretty with a mix of sun and clouds as that sun is coming up. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 60s, so you may or may not need a jacket. It is Earth Day, and there's a celebration at Dix Park this afternoon, but unfortunately, it looks like we may have some showers and thunderstorms. Ken?
It's about 6:15, Elizabeth. We just got a report of Raleigh police helping a driver at Hammond Road and Rush Street. Just something that you should know about just in case. That's part of your morning commute, not going to affect you in any way. Taking a look at some of the alternate routes into the Boat City, Highway 55, Highway 70, all delay-free at this hour. And widening out the view, nothing but free and clear in all our major routes from Wendell to Raleigh, Durham, and Chapel Hill. You're getting ready to head out the door this morning. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Ken, thanks. An engine fire forced passengers to evacuate a Delta flight using the emergency slides. One witness shot this video showing the moment flames started shooting out. It happened at Orlando International Airport yesterday. The FAA says the plane was pushing back from the gate for departure. Nearly 300 passengers and crew members were on the plane.
First responders saved a woman's life during a concert at Coca-Booth Amphitheater. Earlene Jones, she's on the left here with her family. She was at the Billy Strings concert Thursday when she felt something wasn't right. She flagged down venue medics and firefighters who took her to a triage tent. Last thing she remembers is screaming and saying she couldn't breathe. Then she woke up in the hospital the next day. Nurses told her her heart stopped for 10 minutes while first responders performed CPR.
It's still hard for me to wrap my head around that actually happened. But if I had not been with those guys, I'm sure I wouldn't have made it. So my appreciation for them is just crazy, you know?
Lucky on a lot of levels. Jones has been battling chronic bronchitis and has had heart problems. Never experienced anything like that before. Despite the 10 minutes of stopped blood flow, she woke up without any cognitive impairments.
With the passing of Pope Francis, many are wondering who the next pope will be. Michelle McConaughey is here now with some of the men being considered and how the process to select a pope works.
Renee, starting tomorrow, the Pope will lie in state and his funeral will be held on Saturday. And as is tradition, the conclave will meet within 15 to 20 days. This morning, we are getting our first look at some of the men being considered. These are their photos. Candidates must be younger than 80 years old. And the first vote happens on the first day the electors are in the Sistine Chapel. After the 6th day of conclave, voting continues until there is a 2/3 majority. 2 stoves are placed near the chapel entrance, one issuing black smoke indicating there has been no decision, the other white smoke indicating a new pope has been chosen. Within a week of the election, the church holds an installation mass, which is another symbol a new pope has been chosen. We are expecting this all to wrap up in about 3 weeks' time, and you can learn more about the process right now on our website. That's WRAL.com.
A growing wildfire threat is sparking new concern in western North Carolina, months after Hurricane Helene tore through the region. Right now, nearly 1,400 acres are burning in McDowell County. Storm debris from Helene is fueling wildfires and making it harder for crews to keep up. Fire officials say this spring is shaping up to be one of the worst in decades.
We experienced roughly 822,000 acres that saw some sort of damage, timber damage. And so in some cases we have entire mountainsides that have been completely blown down. And so all of that fuel is working in favor of wildfires. It's fresh fuel for the fire to consume. Fires are burning hotter and spreading quicker.
With more than 100 vacancies in the North Carolina Forest Service, some counties don't have a single full-time firefighter on the ground. Tonight at 6, hear from a man who lost everything in the flames and why experts say more homes could be at risk. 6:18 on your Tuesday, and today is a WRAL Weather Alert Day. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will walk you through the impacts and the timing of it all. This morning will stay dry, Elizabeth.
It is not going to be an impact for the morning commute, which is nice, but we are starting to see some cloud cover. It looks a little cloudier there in Fayetteville. You can get a really good idea of what the sky is looking like as we check out Terminal 2 here, and you can see it's about half covered with clouds. We'll see that at least for the next few hours, but after lunchtime, we'll definitely cloud up. This is a live look at Apex in Chapel Hill. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Because of a cold front headed our way, it is a WRAL Weather Alert Day for it today. Our next weather maker is a front that comes in and stalls over us. So that means that we'll have ongoing chances for showers and thunderstorms, mostly in the afternoon and evening, all the way through Saturday until this moves on out. And so we'll have some pockets of some heavy rain and some storms. You can see here around the Asheville area, around central to southern mountains, we do have some storms that have developed along with this front. For us, let's walk through the timeline here on Futurecast. You can see for up until around lunchtime, most of that rain is up toward Virginia. But by around 3 o'clock, we start to see a few of the isolated cells developing, and it looks like we have a good chance of some rain, at least in the Triangle area during the evening commute. And then later in the evening, that axis spreads down to the south. So we're looking at a better chance in our southeastern counties later in the evening after dinner time. Our severe threat is level 1. That means just a few of these cells could produce some wind damage. It's a low threat for wind and hail, and almost a 0 threat for tornadoes and floods, at least for today. Now that front will stall, and so we're going to put this pattern on repeat. Watch how each afternoon we see the green popping up over our area. That stalled front, that chance of rain sticks around. The best chance will actually be Saturday. That's when our next front pushes through, and then behind that we start to dry out Sunday and Monday. But just be prepared for afternoon storms all the way through Saturday. Looking at anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of rain with this, and maybe some pockets where it's a little heavier within some of those thunderstorms. Our temperatures stay mild, upper 70s to low 80s, which is definitely above normal. Now, of course, a lot of things happening today. Some Earth Day celebrations and the Hurricanes playoff game. We'll talk about what the weather will look like for those coming up, Ken.
6:20, Elizabeth. For those of you getting ready to head out, let's take a spin around the Beltline, shall we? Let's start on the southern loop of the Beltline. Those are the westbound lanes moving away from us this morning. A little congested building, but still moving nicely in all directions. This is the northern loop as we take a look at I-440 and New Bern Avenue, flowing nicely in all directions this morning, which is really good news if you're about to head out and the Beltline is part of your morning commute. As we widen out the view and take a look at all the major routes from Wendell to Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, all delay-free at this hour. We just have Raleigh police assisting a motorist at Hammond Road and Rush Street. Nothing that's going to make you late or interfere with your morning commute. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. An AI porn arrest. A man is accused of using AI to make nude photos of NC State students. What's revealed in his arrest warrants?
And a woman shot in Garner. The search that involved canine units to track down the shooter.
Also ahead on today, a look back on the life and legacy of Pope Francis.
First, here's a look at the winning North Carolina education lottery numbers. We'll be back with what's trending.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Billy Ray Cyrus may no longer have an achy breaky heart.
I see what you did. Spike Lee also casting celebrity lookalikes. Ken Smith here now with What's Trending, Ken.
Yeah, Jeff and Renee, here's why Cyrus is trending this morning. He and British actress Elizabeth Hurley posting an Instagram picture of themselves together on Easter Sunday. He was wearing bunny ears and kissing Hurley on the cheek. Now, the pair started together in the 2022 film Christmas in Paradise.
Okay, so I'll do the talking here because we have to scrape Jeff's jaw off the floor, seeing Elizabeth Hurley. Yes, she looks great.
I get a little smitten.
Just a smidge.
Yeah.
I mean, Cyrus, he was engaged to some Australian musician a few years ago, broke it off.
That.
But he was married for 28 years and, had Miley.
Yes.
But then Hugh Grant was with Elizabeth Hurley. Remember that?
I know. None of them are worthy.
She has moved on.
Yes, she has.
And now she's with Billy Ray.
Well, check this out. Spike Lee revealing memes inspired his casting for the upcoming movie Highest to Lowest. Lee revealing on a recent episode of the podcast 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he cast A$AP Rocky in his new movie because of jokes online that he looks like a younger Denzel Washington. Well, Lee hinted viewers who have noticed a resemblance between the two may see that acknowledged in the film.
I mean, what do you think? I think he favors
He so does,
it.
yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
It's
I see it.
uncanny how it is. So it's an upcoming crime thriller that's coming out, but it's based, there's no new ideas, right? It's based on an early 1960s Japanese film, High and Low, it was called back then. But they're going to play it up in that,
there you go.
the lookalike thing.
Ken, thank you. A Johnston County 7-year-old battling bone cancer is back home. A parade was held for Noelle Franklin in downtown Clayton over the weekend for her arrival. Noelle had been at UNC Hospital since January, battling stage 4 osteosarcoma. She has lost one of her legs, a lung, and had undergone surgeries and treatments to remove the cancer over the last 4 months. Noelle will now be in hospice care at her family's house, surrounded by her loved ones.
Today's a WRAL weather alert day. A cold front moving in. I'll show you what time the storms will start and how it could affect your evening commute.
Mass in Raleigh coming up at the top of the hour right here, and you're looking live. Holy Name of Jesus Cathedral this morning, how they will honor Pope Francis in their first Mass since his death.
And cell phone ban. Wake County schools will consider restricting phones access for students. The consideration today over what to do in emergency situations.